Good evening and welcome to the LaRouche Movement's weekly battle report. Today is Wednesday, January 7th, our first episode of 2026, and I'm Michelle Aaron, your host. The deplorable January 3rd attack by the United States against the sovereign nation of Venezuela, including the abduction of President Nicholas Maduro and the killing of at least around 80 people, changed the world, violated sovereignty and international law. This is a direct implementation of the flawed White House National Security Strategy memo issued last November that stated that the United States will now attempt to dominate the Western Hemisphere in a sick echo of the British East India Company's commercial colonial empire. What damage will actions like these do to the great and beautiful potential of a post-geopolitical world, which is unfolding with nations of the BRICS, of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and it's being led by peace-seeking nations like China and Russia? If we sit back and do nothing, we can merely wait and see. But let us ask a different question. Will there be someone in the United States with the courage, intelligence, and morality to step in at this point of crisis to provide sane leadership, to show another way, to show a way of peace, a way of reason? The answer to that question is a resounding yes. In tonight's weekly battle report, we will share several developments around the announcement this past week of the intention to run for U.S. president in order to provide that needed leadership by Diane Sare. And we will also have a briefing from Anastasia Battle, the editor-in-chief of Leonora, the English language culture journal of the LaRouche Movement, on the release of their Winter 2025 issue, which journal is a crucial component of developing the emotions of a citizenry which is capable of keeping their republic. As news came out Saturday, January 3rd, of the U.S. attack on Venezuela, long-term collaborator of Lyndon LaRouche and leader in the LaRouche movement, Diane Sare, quickly came forward to offer insight. She issued the following statement on social media. "I must condemn in the strongest possible terms the illegal action that my government has just taken against the sovereign nation of Venezuela. The implications of this are staggering." Sare then took a much greater step as she issued a statement, "Why I declare my candidacy for President of the United States of America now." This statement exists in written form and is available to print out and circulate. We will watch now the opening of the video version of this statement.
I would like to tell you why I am declaring my candidacy as an independent candidate in the 2028 United States presidential elections. In the wee hours of January 3rd, 2026, my government, the government of the United States of America, launched an invasion of a sovereign nation to forcibly kidnap its leader. The president of Venezuela, Nicholas Maduro, and his wife were captured by American soldiers in an early morning raid and placed on board a ship that is ostensibly headed to the Southern District of New York, where, according to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, the couple has, quote, been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States, unquote. Let me state unequivocally that everything about this action stands in violation of international law, the UN Charter, and crucially for the American people, in violation of our own U.S. Constitution. It also violates the principles expressed in the American Declaration of Independence, which itemizes a long train of abuses perpetrated against the New England colonies by the British Empire, abuses that we ourselves have now just committed with this illegal action against the people and the nation of Venezuela. Unless our nation dramatically changes course and returns to the principles expressed by John Quincy Adams in his July 4th, 1821 address to the Congress, we and our republic shall cease to exist in recognizable form well before the July 4th, 2026 250th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence.
You can find the statement in full. Diane continues by elaborating on what qualifies her to be president and what are the emergency measures that must be taken to save the U.S. economy and to reestablish appropriate relations with the rest of the world. LaRouche organizers nationwide began immediately to take the written version of the statement out to the people. Here's a report from Joe Jennings in Houston, Texas, who went out last Sunday to intersect a rally of people protesting the U.S. actions in Venezuela. He distributed 100 copies of the statement and spoke to many people there. The full title of the statement, by the way, is "Will the United States Survive its 250th year? Why I declare my candidacy for President of the United States of America now." Let's go to Joe.
Hello, this is Joe with the Diane Sayre campaign here in Houston. Been at a rally in the Galleria area, where hundreds of people turned out to oppose this outrageous abduction of President Maduro and his wife from Venezuela. What is this all about? That's what people are asking. We're very happy that our candidate, Diane Sayre, came up with an emergency leaflet and statement to explain what this is in the context of the larger battle we face to preserve the positive legacy of the American Revolution as opposed to this long corruption that's turned us in the direction of becoming an empire. We're getting people interested in Diane's event this Saturday in Manhattan. I certainly plan on bringing together a crowd here in Houston, Texas for the live stream, and I hope everybody listening will be participating as well. Thank you very much from Houston, Texas. Sayre for president.
There have been a good handful of other responses already to the Diane's announcement of her intent to run. Veteran radio and TV political analyst Garland Nixon responded immediately by hosting Diane Sayre for an hour-long interview on his podcast to have a broad-ranging discussion and share this hopeful potential with his audience. The dialogue had over 2,500 viewers. We'll watch just the introduction.
Good news, all. Diane Sayre is running for president in 2028. We're saved. Let's talk. Hello, Garland Nixon here, hanging out with our friend Diane Sayre. Diane, you may recall, she ran for Senate against Chuck Schumer a few years ago. And she is really a brilliant woman. She's everything from a political analyst to an activist to a politician, you name it. And now, thankfully, we finally have some sanity heading for Washington, D.C. after all of these years of madness and imperial colonization and warmongering, all of those things. Diane Sayre, welcome back.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for that introduction.
So you're more than welcome to watch their full dialogue. It's about an hour long. We include the link in our description here. Now we'll look at a couple of YouTube comments, reactions to their dialogue. Thanks, Garland. Thanks, Diane. Congratulations, Diane. We are supporting you. Great video, Garland Nixon with Diane Sayre. And then one more. I've donated to the LaRouche organization, watched Diane's weekly videos, and would gladly donate to her campaign. She would literally be the second presidential campaign I've donated to in my 39 years of existence. LOL. So those are some reactions there. In France, the LaRouche party of Jacques Cheminade, Solidarité et Progrès, expressed their enthusiasm to this announcement by posting Diane's statement in French translation on their home page that facing a moment of existential urgency, Diane Sayre is running as a LaRouche independent candidate in the United States. I imagine there will be more to come. Now, one area where Diane Sayre has played crucial leadership is on the question of culture. Let's go now to a report on the battle for culture. About 2 years ago, Anastasia Battle and her team issued the relaunch of the famous LaRouche culture journal Fidelio, now titled Leonora. Leonora was the heroic wife of the character Fidelio in Beethoven's opera about an imprisoned political revolutionary. This woman, Leonora, courageously put her life on the line to save her husband. So, editor-in-chief of the journal Anastasia Battle, who many of you may recognize as the moderator and co-founder of the International Peace Coalition with the Friday Dialogues with Mrs. Helga Zepp-LaRouche, and scores of important and interesting speakers every single Friday. So Anastasia will now tell us about the winter 2025 issue of Leonora, just released.
Thanks for having me on, Michelle, to talk with all of you about the latest issue of the Leonora. And in this winter issue, we really wanted to capture the concept of what is the idea, what is the type of leadership that's needed to create a republic. And right from the beginning, we start with an excellent paper from Lyndon LaRouche from 1984, while he was running for U.S. president, titled Christian versus Liberal Humanism, which many of you are probably going to find this very helpful given the ideological problems that we're looking at now, he addressed then. So definitely take a moment to study this paper, as well as Helga Zepp-LaRouche's speech from just a few months ago in Paris, where she composes a whole idea of what's happening in the world and what we can actually do about it. So please take a look at that as well. There's also two excellent new original pieces, one from Megan DeBroat and one from Paul Gallagher. The one from Megan DeBroat, who is the president of the Schiller Institute in the United States, is titled The Mission of Joan of Arc. And she goes through this amazing person. If you don't know who Joan of Arc is, definitely read this. And what the potential was that she had in creating just this fear in the oligarchy, that they were so fearful of her that they had to burn her twice at the stake. So definitely take a look at this. She was definitely a threat to oligarchy and along this lines of creating a real republic. And also the other paper is from Paul Gallagher, who is a longtime collaborator of Lyndon LaRouche for many decades. And he wrote a paper on Nicholas Biddle. And Nicholas Biddle was, he was very young. He was the head of the Second National Bank of the United States, put up a huge fight, and was definitely the most qualified head of the national bank and created incredible amounts of progress and development in the United States at the time, probably more than any other head of the national banking system. So definitely take a look at that, and we'd love to hear what you think about these different papers. We have original pieces coming out all the time. We really want to challenge you and get you thinking about your role and abilities, and your abilities to organize in the world. So if you're excited about this and you'd like to subscribe to the Leonora, it's very easy. Just become a recurring member of the Schiller Institute. You can do that by going to schillerinstitute.com and signing up on the membership page, or you can go to the Leonora page, which is schillerinstitute.com/Leonora. So definitely check that out. It's $5 a month, and you get it every spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So with that, thank you so much again, and I look forward to hearing from all of you on your thoughts and your organizing in the world. Have fun.
Thank you, Anastasia. And one way that you can get us those thoughts is to send in your thoughts to info@laroucheorganization.com. So again, as Anastasia said, you can find the journal by becoming a recurring member to the Schiller Institute, or directly on the Leonora webpage, schillerinstitute.com/Leonora. And while you're subscribing to journals, don't forget, if you're not yet subscribed to the Daily Intelligence Journal and the weekly in-depth journal of the LaRouche Movement, you may find those at eir.news. We have seen once again tonight from the LaRouche Movement a fight for solutions, for ideas. Leaders and supporters of this movement show courage, intelligence, and insight. If you're watching this program now, it's great to have you with us in this fight. Consider what more you might be able to do this coming week. Distribute literature, go out and organize, donate. The sky's the limit. So thank you once again for tuning in, and we will see you next week.